Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Whether you're ready or not, the tax season just isn't too far off. It starts with getting organized and it ends with paying your taxes. But in between, there's a lot of work and likely a lot of questions. So on this edition of Money Monday, we're going to focus on wrapping up the calendar year from a fiscal point of view. Joining me is our guest, certified financial planner, Christine Moriarty. Christine is the president of MoneyPiece in Bristol. She joins us each month to address specific money-related topics. Great to see you again.
Good to be here.
Okay, end of the year stuff. So, what are some important highlights of financial planning at the end of the year?
Well, one of the big overviews, and that's very helpful to people, is to be organized around your finances. It's proven that people who are organized have more money. So take the time, even if it's an hour this weekend or tonight, to organize your papers or organize your files on the computer. So some of the things you might want to think about, you mentioned taxes, is where are all your tax forms? You have to keep all your tax forms forever.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
It's just good.
That's what you keep, but not all the stuff that
Exactly.
proves what's in there.
Right. The backup, you are only required by law to keep for 3 years. However, they can go back 7. So I always just say, keep all the backup for 7 years, keep all the forms forever.
Okay, so keeping organized people have more money.
Yes.
I love that. Well, that should be inspiring to me, among other people. So after we get organized, what else can help us have a good financial wrap up to the end of the year?
Well, one thing is look at where you stand financially. Know how much you own and how much you owe.
Little inventory.
Right, an inventory. Think about it. And that's what any good business does. So think of your home personal finances. We need to do an inventory for how much we have and how much we owe.
Okay. And what about in that, we have credit and how much credit and
Exactly.
credit score. So do we check on, is this a good time to check on your credit
So
or credit
first,
score?
check your debt and see how much you owe
Okay.
and know what your payments are and know where you stand. Then go check your credit reports.
Okay.
Okay, so your credit score is what everyone thinks of. I need a number.
Right.
However, the credit score is what's underneath, meaning the information that gets that score. That's most important for you to know because you want to know if it's correct.
Oh, okay.
So if you have in your records that you owe $25,000 on your mortgage, but yet on the credit report it says you owe $125,000,
That's a problem.
right, you want to fix it.
So how do you find that out? Is it difficult? How do you find out if it's correct or not?
Not at all. The thing to do is look at your annual credit report and score. So you can go, if you're on the web, go to annualcreditreport.com. If you're not on the web, make a phone call. And they will send you 3 free credit reports. There's 3 major credit reporting agencies, and both of these will walk you through to get all 3. And then just make sure the information is correct on what you owe and what monthly payments you have. Here's the tricky part. Sometimes you've closed out a loan or paid off a credit card and it's not listed here.
Okay. So how do you correct that? By calling the company or the bank and go, hey, on my credit report it's showing this.
Right.
Or you don't call it credit reporting company, or what do you
both.
do? What do you do?
Actually.
Oh, okay.
So if you are so organized that you have the mortgage, and this happened to me, the mortgage papers that say you paid off the mortgage,
Right.
but yet it's still listed, you can just copy that and send it to the credit report company. If you don't, you need to go get that information from wherever it's reported that says you still owe that money.
Okay, and that'll be important because if you want to borrow, it could be a problem if it's not correct. Okay.
Exactly.
So what else do we need to be thinking about in our financial lives?
We want to think about what we should be doing for the end of the year.
Right.
Because people wait until March to think
And then
about
they
their
panic.
taxes. Right. So if we're sticking with that, be organized. And I know the end of the year is a busy time, but it may just be get all your files in the same place so you know where to find this information. If you review what did you spend that is tax deductible, whether on medical or taxes or whatever, or you start a file just for your W-2s and any of your investment income that's going to be coming in January. Organize what's happened during the year, and you'll be better prepared for taxes on February 1st.
And actually, if you do it a little early, you also might know how much you've got to spend for Christmas or something. But
I like that. And spending for Christmas and Hanukkah and the holidays involve way more than just what gifts am I getting. It's like we're decorating, we're buying more food, we might be traveling. So it's a good idea to have a sense of where my money is and how much cash I have.
we might come back to that.
Okay, let's come back to that because
in 2018, we're talking a little bit about, what about charitable giving? So at the end of the year, that's usually when most people do that.
Right.
Is that a good idea, and what do we think about it?
It's a great idea, but just know that with the new tax law that you mentioned from 2018, it may or may not be deductible federally.
Okay.
But it is deductible statewide. So keep track of your charity and then give it to your accountant if your accountant's doing your taxes, and they can use it statewide. If what a lot of people do who give larger amounts to charity is, instead of giving, I'm going to give you $8,000 each year, they're giving $16,000 in 1 year. So that's deductible federally. So that's you want to talk to your investment people if you're a high giver like that.
If you're a higher giver, then people are bundling it to make the threshold.
Bingo.
Okay.
But for federal, but always it will be a portion of it will be deductible state. And I know that I am famous for dropping things off for charity stores, and they say, oh, you really don't need a receipt, it isn't deductible anymore. And I say, but it is statewide.
Oh, that's great to know.
Yeah.
So, and what about investments?
Investments, review your investment statements, you know, before the end of the year, but definitely at the end of the year, not to look, oh my gosh, how much did it go up or down? That always makes us feel good or bad.
Right.
But where are you invested? So if you have stocks, what stocks are they? Are they high risk? Are they growth stocks? What kind of stocks are they? Or mutual funds, which is what most people have. Are they stock mutual funds or bond mutual funds? And ask the question, are these appropriate for me? Meaning, is all my money in stock? Not so great if you're 65.
Right, when you want to start adding in bonds and being a little safer, maybe not making as much, but not losing as much.
Bingo, bingo. And there's actually mutual funds that will help you in two ways because they have stocks and bonds in them. Or they say, we have a stock and bond fund here called, I don't like to use any company name, but blank blank. 2020. If you're going to retire in 2020, pick this stock. If you're going to mutual fund. If you're going to retire in 2030, pick this one. And that's a really good guide. They'll help balance the stocks and bonds for you.
Right. So when we look at our statements, we're just looking to see, is this really what I want to be invested in? Maybe. And the whole stock and bond balance.
Absolutely. So it gives you an opportunity to ask questions. And most statements list stocks, bonds. And stocks are ownership, and bonds are more generating income.
Right, because you're basically loaning money to something. And what about cash at the end of the year? We started getting into Christmas gifts.
So cash, it's really important not to you always need some cash. And you know, good financial planning practice says have 3 to 6 months of living expenses. You want to use cash for holiday spending, for vacation, and then your peace of mind account would have 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Do not use your peace of mind or safety account for Christmas spending.
Okay, you want to keep some always, not spend it on the grandkids.
I know, especially not spending on the grandkids. They want time with you more than they want stuff, absolutely. But remember that don't be saying, I have to use holiday spending and digging up every last penny. That's not taking care of yourself.
Right, terrific. And we talked about planning for bonus money.
Absolutely.
At times. So again, bonus money may come in terms of bonus, or maybe some other ways.
Some other ways are taxes we were talking about. Some people get a refund for taxes, Fran.
Right.
So
True
that's
enough.
considered bonus money. And a lot of people say, well, I get that tax money back and I spend it on vacation or I do this. And I have a better plan. Use your bonus money, whether it's winning the lottery or winning a raffle somewhere, and split it 3 ways. Think about it as past, present, and future. Past is, what is your debts? Those credit card debts, those school loans, that mortgage, put a little extra there.
Paying off a little bit more.
Yeah. Future is retirement. What's long term? College, it might be college for my kids or grandkids. And then present, go buy that new grill or put it into your vacation account or go away for the weekend. Like do something fun or go shopping, whatever it is that makes you happy. And if you take $1,000 that way and do like a little over 300 in each fund, you'll feel like you have something to show for it. Whereas if you take that $1,000 and you just pay bills or you blow it on a one-day shopping spree, it disappears mentally as well as physically quicker.
Such good advice. I love that. I'll try to take that in myself. Any other year-end reminders?
Yes, we want to make sure that you take care of yourself and in perspective, get organized, and really see what you need coming up into the new year.
Right.
So think about the new year as well as what's happened in the past. So if you scrambled last year for real estate taxes, start to make a plan for the next year in real estate taxes.
Right, and something you were talking about earlier, when you write a check, realize it might not be cashed if you put it in the mail on the 28th. So also write your checks for charity and other things. If you need it to be in this year, write it in time.
Absolutely. I usually tell people do charity in November, and it's November, the attitude of gratitude.
Okay, thank you so much. So if you have money-related questions or comments, you can check in with Christine. You can reach her via her website, which is www.moneypeace.com, or you can call her at 802-453-5913. Christine Moriarty, thank you so much for your always incredibly sound advice about money.
Thank you, Fran.
And thank you for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard.